Hey everyone, welcome to today's workout. All right, so today's workout is not for the faint of heart. I just want to set expectations. It is a core conditioning workout in that you will be working your core. You will be working on conditioning in as far as heart rate is concerned. So there is also a fair amount of lower body in this particular routine. The first block of exercises, we're going to be moving for 1 minute total without break, and then we'll take a break. And then the second round, you'll be moving for 2 minutes without a break, and then you'll take a 30-second break. Now, I say that because if it feels like it's moving too fast from you, which it very well might, all you need to do is just pause your video. Just pause your video and take a little bit more rest time. Now, that being said, the workout would take you a little bit longer, but I just want you to know that that is, in fact, an option. So the exercises themselves are actually relatively straightforward. We've got rear lunges here. We're also going to be doing a plank. So it's all things that you know and you've seen. It's just that the way we put it together is going to be a little bit more dynamic and definitely more challenging on your heart rate. So I'm going to take you through a quick warm-up, and then we're going to get right down to business with the workout. So make sure you have one heavy-ish for you weight, maybe a 15-pounder would do, and I'll see you in the workout. All right, so when you're moving through that cat-cow, get a nice stretch across the low back. Really good opportunity to make sure you're breathing too, just by the way. We forget to do that. I catch myself doing that sometimes, like, how about just taking a breath? All right, and after that last downward facing dog, take your hands forward. Give me a little, I call it rocking child. So hips to heels, and then come forward so that you're in a kneeling plank. All right, we're gonna layer in a push-up with this whenever you are ready. I feel like I personally need a few more of these to be stretches. And then if you'd like to layer on that push-up, you can give about 8 of those. Again, those are kneeling push-ups, keeping them very conservative. We do have a push-up movement in the very first part of this workout, so personally I must save a little bit in the tank. All right, last one here. Then we're going to go ahead and take it into a downward facing dog. Whatever that looks like for you as far as your shape. I personally like my knees a little bit more bent. That way I can focus on getting my spine into the right spot. And so what I'm really thinking about doing when I'm in this position is pressing my chest back toward my toes. And then on your inhale, I want you to come forward just to a plank. All right, so give me 5 more of those. You're going to press it back, release the heels, press the palms into the mat. Exhale, come forward, breathe. All right, once you've got that 5 under your belt, step 1 foot forward. And when you're stepping that foot forward, try to get the knee and the ankle to line up. Heel stays grounded. Lower the back knee down until you feel a little thigh stretch. Take your hand behind your head. In this case, this is my right side of my body, so my right hand's behind my head. I'm going to rotate open, twist, 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 and then come back down. And bring your elbow, the elevated elbow, in the direction of your opposite hand. Okay, so go a little further past neutral. Almost like you're doing kind of like a cross crunch. All right, when you get through 5, just simply step the opposite foot forward rather. Hand behind the head, root down into the ground, and let's take that twist. Right, believe it or not, a movement like this does involve a little bit of anti-rotation. So what does that mean? We got to keep the core attentive so that the whole body doesn't come along for the ride, right? All right, when you're ready, take your hands down. Walk your feet forward. Give me a low squat with the heels down, chest tall. So as low as your hips can go, and maybe give me a little rock side to side here. Little rock. Ooh, my inner thighs though. Feeling a little tight. All right, let's walk it on up. All right, one more exercise to warm our body up on your feet. I would like you to go into just a basic squat, whatever you want to do with your hands, hands on hips, hands behind head, hands reaching forward, whatever feels like it's appropriate for you. I forgot to tell you how many we're doing. We're doing 20. But I want us to actually add a little balance to this. So I want you to squat and lift one leg, squat and lift one leg. And when you're lifting that leg, I want you to make sure that the down leg that you're standing on has an opportunity to straighten out. Right, we don't want to just come halfway up, right? So we want you to come all the way up. Last one, done. First of all, while you grab that sip of water, I'll tell you what you need. You're only going to need either one heavy dumbbell for this or two medium. So I'm going to be using, as I look at this, the exercises are rear lunges in a goblet squat style. You're going to be doing one side, then the other. So you're not going to be alternating through the whole set. You're going to be doing one side, and then we're going to switch right over to the other side without a break. The next two movements are body move. The second block is side lunges. And when you do those side lunges, you can either do it a goblet squat style or hold the weight in one hand if you're using one. That's what I'll be doing. The third exercise is a forward lunge, goblet squat style. So those are the only weighted exercises that we're going to be doing in this circuit. We're going to be working on a pyramid circuit. So if you need a refresher of that, we have 6 different rounds that stack up in duration. So our first round, we are only moving for 2 blocks of 30 seconds. And I say 2 blocks of 30 seconds because we're going to start with rear lunges on one side, immediately go to the other side without rest. Then we're going to take a 30-second rest. Then we're going to dive back in. We're going to do the rear lunges a second round and immediately go to a plank hold for 30 and then mountain climbers for 30. And then we take a 30-second rest. And you guys know how this goes, right? Then we add on the third, 3, 2, 1, rest. We keep going until we hit 6 exercises. So you guys can be moving for 6 minutes without a break, and this does get tough. So if you need to, take care of yourself at any point in this, please do. The whole workout, this last thing, is gonna take us from beginning to end about 24 minutes, and it is pretty flippin' relentless, but you guys are warm now, right? And keep in mind, if it does get too much, you can always go to a body weight version of it. Half of the moves are lower body, half of the moves are more core, body weight core based, okay? We good? Make sure we have enough time. All right, so first one is gonna be rear lunges. So goblet squat style is the way I will be holding the weight. Means the weight's up at the front or top of my shoulders on my chest. Ready? One leg, go. So you guys remember the warm up. You remember the warm up, right? Where I had you standing on one leg. This is why. Pick your pace. Reality is I'm in my first round. Like I could probably do this heavier, but I don't want to because I've already told you what's coming, right? So we need to take care, pace ourselves. Switch right away. No rest there. Workouts like this, really great opportunity to challenge your range of motion, especially if you're going a little lighter. Done, take a break. 30-second rest. We pick it back up from the exact same exercise we just did. When it's done, you hear the timer for the second time, you're gonna be down in a basic plank position, as basic as it comes. All right, so the weights go out of the way, you're down on the ground. We're moving for 2 minutes without rest. Well, I guess with a plank, you're technically not moving. You're sitting still, but you're doing something. Trunk nice and tall. Whatever pace feels appropriate for you. Remember, we're going to be doing a lot of these, so switch sides. The volume is pretty high. In case you missed it, that was the bell. You should switch. Like that extra little warning, right? Done. Weight out of the way. Come to plank, please, and hold it. 30 seconds is starting. Right on into it. When you hear the timer again, and I'll make sure that you heard it because I'll tell you, you're going to go into mountain climbers. Whew. Squeeze that low belly, breathe. Go, mountain climbers. Now remember, mountain climbers primarily are a core exercise. So I'm going to do mine slowly, only because on a personal note, I get so much more out of it. If you're doing yours in a run, let your freak flag fly. Keep going with that. Done. How are you? 30-second rest. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lunges, lunges. Plank, mountain climber, fast or slow. Our third block, again, we're gonna come back up without rest, is gonna be a side lunge, okay? We focus on one side, then the other. 10 seconds before the top of this third round. So you're gonna be moving for 90 seconds total, yes? Sorry, 3 minutes total. What was that? Who said that? I always think to myself when I'm trying to wrap my brain around something that's longer duration, is to literally just take it one step at a time. So one 30-second rather block at a time. Right, keep in mind, you can always take a break if you need. Switch. Plank is next, guys. Weight out of the way. You're probably gonna need, just by the way, probably gonna need that same weight for your side lunges. I'll be using the same weight, personally. Remember on that plank, push down into the ground. This is not rest, right? You want that full body tension. Scoop the tail end or squeeze your bum. Hold that, because that's the starting position of your mountain climber. Go, whether it is fast or it is slow. Pull, pull. I make no excuses. Mountain climber is one of my least favorite exercises. I think part of the reason for that is I end up feeling it in my hip more than my core. So for me personally, I like slowing them down. But you do them at any pace you like. That's the beauty. You have choices. Up on your feet, right away, grab the weight, side lunges, pick a side. I know that's a quick transition. I know. I mean, listen, worst case scenario, 25 seconds. Right over to the other side. Remember, you go in for depth. Try spinning the sole of that foot away from the floor, shifting the toes up till they face the ceiling. Love it. Done. Here's your rest. 30 seconds. We pick it up from the lunges. Rear lunges, left and right. Planks and mountain climbers. Side lunges, then we're down in a forearm plank. All right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes of movement without break. Weight up. Lunge, go. Woo! 30 seconds, not a lot, right? Not a lot at all. Switch. Keep this pace predictable for yourself, right? Very easy when you're feeling like a little bit competitive. We sometimes get ahead of ourselves, right? Done. Plank. Now, as I said before with plank, the further forward you are and the more scooped out you're in your belly, it may look on camera like I'm kind of rounded in my back, but the difference is my butt isn't in the air, my butt is tucked under. So I'm scooping out my belly, kind of like I would do in a hollow hold. Mountain climbers. So for me, that takes it out of my shoulders and wrists and really puts the focus more on my abs. And as you're pulling that knee forward, remember, use your abdominals to pull it forward, whether you're going fast or slow. Woo. Woo. Up on your feet, side lunges. I'm sweating like crazy. Other side. Not a lot of time here, I know. So let me give you a preview. After you're done with these lunges, you're down on the ground. Forearm plank means you're on your elbows, yeah? Done, weights down, forearm plank. Let's find it real quick. And the same rules apply as in the high plank. And certainly by all means, if you prefer high plank, you could do that again. Scoop out the belly, take the feet together. So when the timer changes, and that's gonna happen about 15 seconds, you're gonna take one leg out to the side, low to the floor as far as you can. Out and in. All right, here it is. Out.
I want you to bring that leg up far enough that you can feel the side of your waist when you do it. You need to bend your knee and do it more like this. That's another alternative. Straight leg is definitely more work for sure because it's more load. Done. 30-second break. The doggies are right outside the window. All right, lunges coming at you guys, 15 seconds. Five minutes total movement. How's the pacing going? We all right? Go. This workout's meant to be a stretch, by the way. It's meant to be a stretch. I would say this, if you're in it, you're like, wow, it's really catching up with me, just slow down, right? Do less in the time that I'm giving you, but try to keep moving. So that might mean you take a little bit more of a pause at the top. Switch. Do a few less reps so you can catch up with yourself. Nice, guys. Plank. Holding. Hold, please. Tuck the chin. Again, looking down at your hands is probably the best place to be. You got my sweatshirt. Like, sweaty eyes here. My towel is not here. Just in this little basket. So it's real world around here. Or make this more of an abdominal challenge, please. Whew. Love it. We're back up on our feet, guys. Here we go. Side lunges. Whew. I know these pyramid workouts, they are a bit of a grind, no doubt, right? Because it's just lots and lots of sets. Lots of volume. Switch. We'll be better for it though, right? That's the hope. That's why we're doing it. All right, so just keep in mind, as far as pacing, you're coming to the end of 3 minutes. We're down on our forearms for the next move, and we hold. And again, that is where, if you really need a rest, you'd be able to grab it, right? Because you could just simply come to your knees if you needed to. All right, we're gonna hold it here, and then when we hear the timer, we're gonna go to those tap outs. Once that's done, you're immediately back up on your feet for lunges. This is gonna be, whew, it's gonna be something. All right, here we go. Side to side. Hit the floor a little. Yeah. As I'm doing this too, I'm always thinking to myself, all right, as your leg moves to the side, keep your hips low. So I want you to be thinking the same, right? Because the tendency is to kind of hike the hips up. So if that's happening, you may need to limit your range of motion just a little bit. All right, forward lunges, guys. Weight up. Pick a side, any side. Let's go. This particular format has a little bit of an AMRAP quality to it, right? Because like with an AMRAP, you're kind of moving at your own pace within a certain amount of time. This is kind of very similar. So I don't want to get too attached by the fact that like when the bell goes, if you're not moving, it's just a way to sort of keep pace, switch, so that it's a little bit predictable. Stepping forward, pushing back, stepping forward, pushing back, forward lunge. Done. 30-second break. So, after this 30-second break, we start again from the top. We do the rear lunges, the planks, the mountain climbers, the side lunges, the forearm plank, the kickouts, the forward lunges, and then there's one last segment. That segment is a bear squat hold, which looks like this, knees off the ground. When the timer goes, you're gonna add a crawl. I'm gonna pause that. When the timer goes, you're gonna add a crawl. That crawl can be lateral, it can be forward back. It can be any direction you choose. I just want you in some form of movement. You with me? All right, take it from the top. 6 minutes of work. Grab the wrong weight, rear lunges. Woohoo! So, I've been counting my lunges just out of curiosity. And I've been doing about 12 each round. And by the time all is said and done, 6, 7 rounds. Help me do the math, 70, 84 lunges. Think I'll feel that tomorrow? Possibly. Possibly. Switch. Any time you change stimulus in a workout, you're gonna get a result. So it isn't always about pushing more and more and more weight. Sometimes it's about upping the volume. Pump up the volume. Planks. Somehow that transition is very easy, right? Drop it on down. Get me down with it, just hold. Slow it on down. Again, feel this plank in your whole body. Right, it's not just shoulders, not just arms. If that's shaking, I need you to breathe. Pull that belly button in towards your lower back. Mountain climbers. Straight up the center. Sorry about that if I yelled in your ear. We get ready to come out, guys. Less than 10 seconds and we'll be hitting the side lunges. There's that timer. Here we go, here we go. Switch. You know, we're always so worried about like, when are we gonna get our cardio in? Now. Now we would. Lift weights quickly. Minimize the impact. That's the name of my game these days. Stop that one a little early, forearm plank. I know, I always laugh too. It's like workouts like this, when I do them, I'm like, it's surprising how hungry I end up after. It's like your body has just moved so much energy. And if you're listening to those cues, do not be surprised. Let's say I definitely honor that. All right, tap it out to the side. Here we go. Remember, this is our last block going up the chain, up the pyramid chain. And after these kickouts, we're back up on our feet for forward lunges, and then we're back down on the ground for those bear squat holds. Ooh. Done. Up we go. Woo. I was thinking to myself, I was like, my shirt looked great when I started, not so much now. Should have probably worn black, right? The sweat wouldn't show so much. Oh well, we're all friends here, right? Other side. Love it. Weight down, bear squat, hold. So remember, bear squat is kind of like a plank with your knees bent and then off the floor. And that's all you have to do. But similar to a regular plank is we don't want to all be in the legs, nor do we all want to be in the arms. So keep it 50-50 and then pull in your abdominals. When we do the crawl, you go forward and back, or you can go side to side, or simply just stay where you are and lift one hand at a time. So you can lift one hand at a time if you already know the crawl. I don't have a ton of room here, so I'm just gonna add angle. Go as far forward as you actually have room to go. I like kind of 3 or 4 steps. Woo! Done. All right, take a breather. I'm gonna give you guys a 1-minute rest here. 1-minute rest. Grab some water. Let's check our time here. Beautiful. All right, it's 8:28. If you guys have time to stay with me for 6 minutes, great. If you don't, it's 8:28. So you're gonna need a minute. But what I'm about to do is I'm gonna do the whole thing in reverse 1 time, okay? So it'll be 6 minutes. I'm gonna go from the bear crawl to the forward lunges, to the forearms, and so on. We're just gonna do the whole thing in reverse just as a finisher. So again, I will not be offended if you have to pop off, but if you would like to stay, but if you are ending your workout, I would just say take like 1 or 2 minutes to kind of just do a little stretch and cool down. Oh my gosh, look at this shirt. All right, we're going. We're going. Bear crawl is first. Begin. So start with the crawl, and then when you thanks, Sam, and then you're gonna go to the hold. So I know the shoulders are feeling this for sure. So if you need to stop at any time, just stop. All right, here's the hold. And again, you need a break, just put the knees down. I always find for myself, it's just most helpful to focus on my breathing, even as unpleasant as this exercise is. It's not just you. My legs are burning. All right, up on your feet, forward lunges. Nice. I challenge myself with these last ones. I know it's a mental game by the time you get to this last round for sure. Switch. All right, in 5 seconds, you're in your forearm plank and you're tapping. So we do the tap first for 30, and then the hold. Where's that dang timer? You ever have those moments you're like, is it actually gonna go? We missed it! We didn't hear it, it's too low. Hold. That's totally my fault. 3 seconds. Side lunges. That was funny because I actually had turned the volume down. I couldn't even hear it. All right, less than 3 minutes to go. Round to the bend. Take a break on the side. Well, that's not really a break. We should say more accurately, switch feet. I'm having a moment, I'm like, should have worn waterproof mascara. I could feel my face. All right, the mountain climbers are coming next. Time. Straight up the center. Say goodbye to these. I just find it amazing, right? 7 sets of these. Be interesting to know if you feel your abdominals tomorrow. Whew. Pause in the plank. 90 seconds left of this workout, then we're done. Steady breath. Remember, where your head is matters. So tuck that chin, back of the head stays lifted. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Stay strong for me. 10 seconds, we're back up on our feet. We got lunges and then we're done. Love it. Here we go. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? This is it. Switch. 10 seconds to go. Let's see it through. Done. Double high five, right? Oh, that's a tough one. That's no joke. No joke, no joke. I know, right? I write those down and then I'm like, well, I think that won't be so bad. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I put it this way. I'm looking for it to be a stretch, but I also, combining it and not where it's upper and lower. It's a stretch, but it's doable. All right. All right. I'm like, I need a second. I'm supposed to hop on with my next person, so I went a little late, but I wanted to finish that. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. All right, guys, we have a little outtake with my clients here as we finish it up. So I'm going to take you through a stretch if you care to stay on with me for another minute or two, and you're not too angry with me for that last workout. Okay, so I want you to actually come down to your back. Okay, so come down to your back. Hopefully your heart rate's down by now. If it's not, you're going to want to probably take a minute until it is. I want you to put one leg down on the floor and extend the other leg up. And then once you extend that other leg up, take your hands and support the back of your knee. And then once you've done that, I want you to press the back of your knee into your hands. So it's a different way of looking at it, right? Because what a lot of folks try to do is pull the leg forward, but that really is aggressive on your back. So what you want to think about doing is extending your leg. You notice my leg's perpendicular to the floor. I'm contracting my quadricep muscle, and I'm actively really pushing the back of my kneecap into my hands. And then I'm adding on one more layer of stretch, if you will, by pulling my toes to my shin. And so when you do that, you will probably feel your hamstring and your calf. Now, as long as you can keep this hip down, you can start to pull that leg forward towards you. But again, not the expense of this, right? So keep rooted down, almost as if somebody has their hand right in your hip to remind you to keep that hip down. All right, and then we're gonna take that same leg, cross the ankle over the knee, and come into a figure four, which y'all know probably. You want to take a moment to do a little ankle mobility. That might be nice. I said this before. Part of the reason why I prefer to work out in bare feet, you can switch, is because as I have observed with working with real folks, especially as I started to teach yoga in about 2016 was when I started teaching, I could see a lot of ankle stiffness with people and how it affects their ability to lunge and squat and things like that. So where does that show up? It just, when your joints aren't as mobile as they could be, your body's going to compensate in other ways to find its strength. And so it can result in pain, but not always in the foot, but like somewhere else up the chain, as we say. I'm going to go into that figure four. So for me, I just prefer to work out in bare feet. Now, I would just say this, if you are in the habit of working out in those very highly cushioned shoes, it's always going to be to your benefit to pick something lower profile, in particular for this kind of training. For walking and stuff like that, if you need it, like for arches and, if you have sore ankles, whatever, by all means, that's great. But for stuff like this, I really would encourage you to work in a way that allows you to feel the floor, and rather than walking on pillows, which is what a lot of those shoes happen to be like. All right, so from this position, you're gonna hug the knees to the chest. Maybe do a few little circles here. Cross one leg over the other, pull the knees into the shins. So I'm just stretching your legs here today, nothing much for the upper body. The volume we just did in that workout was a lot in the lower body for sure. Do not be surprised if you are sore tomorrow. I would encourage you to take a day or two off. Switch sides. Okay, guys, that's it. Awesome job. I know that was a sweaty one. It's probably, from a conditioning standpoint, one of the more difficult workouts that we've done. So my hope is that you were able to pace it according to your own level and customize it to what you felt you were able to do. And that's it for today. All right, I will see you in the next workout.